Now, she won Defensive Player of the Year and unrivaled. So the general managers are telling you right now we don't give a rat's ass about that 3-on-3 league. And people think we're supposed to take this league seriously. I beg to differ. That's crazy.
Want to know the most insane thing I just found out? The WNBA GM survey showed Caitlin Clark got just 8% of the MVP votes. The same player who's selling out arenas and bringing in millions of new viewers. And here's what's even more shocking. Only 50% of GMs would start a franchise with her. That's right.
Hey, and could sign any player in the WNBA, who would it be? If you didn't answer Caitlin Clark, your ass would be in the street looking for a job.
Half of the league's decision makers wouldn't pick the most marketable player in WNBA history. I'm breaking down this entire clown show and showing you exactly why these GMs need to be fired immediately. Kindly please like the video and subscribe to the channel to support us. I'm still trying to wrap my head around these survey results. The WNBA GM survey just came out, and what these executives said about Caitlin Clark is absolutely mind-blowing. This isn't just a little mistake, it's a complete disconnect from reality. Let's look at the numbers. Clark got just 8% of the MVP votes from GMs. 8%. That's crazy.
WNBA MVP Nafisi Collier, 67%, Asia Wilson, 25%, Caitlin Clark, 8%.
We're talking about the player who's completely transformed the league this year. The player who has everyone suddenly paying attention to women's basketball. And check this out. When asked who they'd start a franchise with, only 50% picked Clark. Half of the league's GMs wouldn't pick the most marketable player in WNBA history to build around. Make it make sense. These are people running multi-million-dollar organizations making decisions that completely ignore what's happening right in front of them. Think about this. Clark is selling out arenas everywhere. Teams are moving games to bigger venues because of her. TV ratings are through the roof when she plays. She's bringing in fans who never watched a WNBA game before. And somehow, half the GMs are like, nah, I'll pass. One GM actually said, Chelsea Gray is a better point guard than Clark. I mean, Gray is good, but are we watching the same games?
You would not have a job if you voted for Chelsea Gray. Get the bleep out of here. You gotta be joking.
The survey had them tied as best point guard. Tied. If I owned a team and my GM didn't pick Clark as the best point guard, they would not have a job tomorrow.
Chelsea Gray voted tied for best point guard and best passer over Caitlin Clark. It's like they don't even watch games. It's baffling.
The survey also completely ignored Angel Reese. Not a single mention after she just won Defensive Player of the Year in the 3x3 league. How does that make any sense?
Or in this case, effed. Just letting you know, Angel, you're nowhere to be found in this.
Reese was nowhere to be found in the results. It's like these GMs are telling us they don't give a rat's ass about the 3x3 league.
Now, she won Defensive Player of the Year and unrivaled. So the general managers are telling you right now we don't give a rat's ass about that 3-on-3 league.
These GMs are running professional basketball teams, but they're making choices that show they either don't watch games or they're letting personal bias cloud their judgment. I talked to some league insiders who say there's serious jealousy toward Clark from some executives who've been in the league for years. They don't like that a rookie is getting all this attention. The survey results reveal a massive disconnect between what fans are seeing and what WNBA executives are acknowledging about Clark's impact on the league. The whole thing feels like the GMs are living in a completely different reality than the rest of us who actually watch WNBA games. The WNBA is an unserious organization, and the biggest problem is the losers that's running it.
Caitlin Clark, way back here at the back. I mean, the literal face of your league, way back here at the back.
You know what's even crazier about this GM survey? It's not just basketball decisions, it's terrible business thinking too. These people are running teams worth millions of dollars, and they can't see what's right in front of them.
If you do not recognize and can't get past your own ego to see who is moving this entire league.
Imagine you run a business that struggled with viewership for years. Suddenly you get a new employee who brings in millions of new customers overnight. Would you minimize that person's importance? That's exactly what these GMs are doing. They've been gifted a goose that lays golden eggs, but refuse to sell the damned eggs. Make it make sense. The numbers don't lie. When Clark plays, viewership jumps by hundreds of thousands. Her jersey is the top seller in the league. She's bringing in fans who never watched women's basketball before. But these GMs act like it's no big deal. Clark should be the face of the league. Her image should be front and center in all marketing materials. The logo should have already changed to feature her. One marketing expert I talked to said this is like if the NBA had downplayed Michael Jordan in the 90s. It makes zero business sense to not put your most marketable star front and center. Jordan made the NBA what it is today. Clark could do the same for the WNBA, but these executives are too blind to see it. Some of these GMs have been running teams that lose money year after year. Now they finally have a chance to grow their business, and they're basically saying, nah, we're good. The survey put Clark and Reese, the two most talked about rookies, at the back of the pack. These are the players casual fans actually know and want to see. I've seen the social media numbers. Clark's highlights get 10 times more engagement than almost any other player. Yet these GMs act like she's just another rookie.
The league's two most popular players are at the end. I would hire a different marketing person. They noticed the same thing I did.
There's a reason why some WNBA games are now on major networks in primetime slots. And it's not because of the players these GMs ranked ahead of Clark. This survey exposes a fundamental problem. WNBA executives are failing to capitalize on their biggest business opportunity in league history. The WNBA is an unserious organization, and the biggest problem is the losers that's running it. If I was the WNBA commissioner, I'd be calling an emergency meeting with every GM who didn't recognize Clark's value because they're literally costing the league money. The WNBA needs to clear out the organization and reset, bringing in people without biased objectives that aren't based solely on basketball or business. The league needs executives who understand both.
Put her at shooting guard. Okay, she can play both spots, but I wouldn't think you could answer these two questions independent of themselves.
The WNBA is sitting on a gold mine with players like Clark and Reese, but this survey shows the league's executives don't get it. These stars could take women's basketball to new heights, but the people in charge are holding them back.
Don't value you all that much. I mean, we think they're disrespecting Caitlin Clark. Forget about it. Angel Reese not involved. People think we're supposed to take this league seriously? I beg to differ. That's crazy.
The biggest problem with the WNBA is the losers that's running it. They need to replace these GMs with people who understand both basketball and business. The fans aren't blind. They see Clark's impact and Reese's potential. But will the league listen to the fans or stick with executives who can't spot talent right in front of them? The WNBA's future depends on that answer.